Yubel is one of the hardest cards in the game to actually make work, because I think that this thing misses timing with literally everything. And there's one exception to the rule, all written into one fantastic interaction on Draconic Diagram. So I'm always asked, and I can't really explain to you why people want to see Yubel function. And what was it? There were some old YouTube channels like Yubel Mastery, Next Gen Resident Evil, or Next GRE. They were all avid lovers of Yubel, and it was kind of a shame to kind of see some of those channels disappear from the community, and even so much like some of the channels in general that supported more of these rogue archetypes and things like that. Because once, you know, more master rules and things progressively came around, and the way that like Yugioh started to change, like a lot of the more interesting people in the community just kind of disappeared. So I kind of wanted to pay a homage to them a little bit. That's why I wanted to do this deck profile, in addition to, well, at the end of the day, you know, it's Yubel. Last stream we did, what was it, a week or so back, we actually ended up getting requested to build a Yubel deck. And I've messed around with this concept before, just as a little bit of fun for my friends. And because my friend Next Gen Resident Evil was like, hey, like, is there any good way to, like, build Yubel now? Like, it's been a while. And of course, like, I'm like, oh shit, like, is there? Well, Draconic Diagram. All true Draco and true King monsters on the field will gain 300 attack and defense each. The first time you attribute summon a true Draco or true King monster would be destroyed each turn. It is not. Okay. Then once you're trying to destroy one other card you control or in your hand, and if you add one true King or one true Draco card from your deck to your hand. Now, you're probably asking, how does this... So the adding and the destruction are basically simultaneous. It's kind of weird. So Yubel actually doesn't miss its opportunity to do its thing, because when this card is destroyed except by its own effect, its owner can special summon one Yubel, the Terror Incarnate, from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So you're basically kind of using this as a progressive means to climb a ladder into, you know, Terror Incarnate and the Ultimate Nightmare. Now you're probably asking, why do we care about the Yubel engine? Well, Yubel is one of the oldest boss monsters dating back to Phantom Darkness. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card, and before damage calculation, when this face-up attack position card is attacked by your opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. And of course, during the end phase, you must tribute one other monster or destroy this card. I kind of hate how dated this card is in terms of its text, because... like, we got a boss monster like this in this current day and age, this wouldn't have gone this well. It probably would have been easier to summon. Now, his next form is the Terror Incarnate, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by Yubel, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage from battle involving this card. By the way, Skill Drain just wrecks this deck, like, and cry yourself to sleep. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card. Before damage calculation, when this face-up attack position card is attacked by an opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. And during the end phase, destroy all other monsters on the field. When this face-up card leaves the field, you can special summon one Yubel, the Ultimate Nightmare. And some cheeky things that you can do is you can play cards that force your opponent to attack your cards. Not a particular fan of doing things like that. There are things that can force attack position monsters to attack, but like, it just seems too cheeky. And then we have one Yubel, the Ultimate Nightmare. Cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by Yubel, Terror Incarnate. Can't be special summoned by other ways. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card. And at the end of the damage step, if this face-up card battles an opponent's monster, inflict damage to your opponent's that monster's attack to your opponent. And then you'll also get the ability to destroy that monster. For a relatively large boss monster, this is nothing particularly too special. Yes, Skill Drain does wreck this guy, but I still wanted to include it in the deck because, you know, at the end of the day, no matter what really happens with these guys, you have double-sided win conditions built into the deck, and I think that's kind of important. It's the same thing with playing Thunder King Gadgets. People go, why are you doing this? Because you're not always going to see one side of the engine or the other, so you kind of have to decide in terms of deck building which rule side is going to come up. But yes, that's the inclusion of the Yubel. Now, as for the deck core itself, this is on a true Draco engine, because, well, like I said, we need something to go and search off of Dragonic Diagram. So let's kind of dig on into this and explain some of our card choices. So we are playing one Armageddon Knight. Recent limitations and things on this made me want to make sure that we do have access to dump any of these pieces. I think a lot of people kind of understand like these older pieces can be dead draws, and I don't necessarily want to be hitting these dead cards in my hand. So a normal summon to drop something like this, or to like even set up for a limit reverse. There's a lot of value in a core normal summon Armageddon Knight, just to kind of do what you need to do with it. Now we are playing one copy of Dynamite, probably the best True Draco this deck has. 2 copies of Ignis, searching for the spells to do what we need to do for recurability. And then we have 2 copies of Majesty Maiden, rounding out like the 5 core engine. I didn't want to go too much heavier on this engine because like you kind of start to run into issues, and it's kind of bad. Now I was getting cheeky and I was playing 1 copy of Mystic Tomato. Having 1 floater that I can ram into something to special summon a Yubel to toggle off a Dragonic Diagram didn't seem like a necessarily bad idea in the initial core steps of deck building. I still stand by this. Considering what we're trying to do here, 1 tomato is not bad at all. I don't see any confliction of interest here. Just you kind of have to understand that that's what we're going for. Now, the Yubel engine is 6 cards. And I was thinking about this. This one will go from hand, deck, or graveyard. This will also go from hand, deck, or graveyard. And this, well, I mean, it doesn't matter where this is. Probably it's going to put this as far away from you as you can because these are dead boss monsters. But I wanted to play 2 Terra Incarnate instead of 1 because I've seen some weird things happen in my life when playing decks like this. So 2 is fine. But generally the way that this is going, the 6 card split, like even if you want to get cheeky, you can go 1-1 on the Yubels. It just, it's too much if you go any other way. So I think in terms of core strategy, the 2-1-3 is absolutely fine. And we're playing 1 card destruction. Bricks do exist, and the only reason why I wanted to play this is it rewards me, not so much for like, I don't know, it makes my life easier for playing trash cards. How about that? I don't want to necessarily like shit on you, Bell, but like the card is a little bit chunkier than it needs to be. Now we are playing triple card demise. Yes, we are playing 13 monsters. Yes, you can kind of draw into some dead stuff. Yes, you can end up with Yubel in your hand. I don't feel bad about discarding them. Dumping them in the graveyard for limit reverse is absolutely fine. If not, like, getting into diagrams to kill these, it's still fine. Like, take it for what it's worth. Like, I'll take it. Now, we have triple copies of Disciples. Recurability and giving us stepping ladders and draw power is pretty fucking good. Like, I'll take it for what it's worth. And of course, we have triple copies of Dragonic Diagram. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. Like, I'll take it. Also, the thing that like makes this so good is it's when this card is destroyed. It doesn't have to be on the field. I think that was the thing that I liked most about this, just because, like, free stepping stones into other things as well. 1 copy Desires. Oh, yes, I forgot. This was my other reason for playing 2 Terra Incarnate. I don't really care if Ultimate goes away. That's just bad luck, in my opinion. It's good. We have 2 copies of Terraforming to get to Dragonic Diagram. Once again, the heart and soul of our deck. 1 Monarch Stormforth. So yes, Yubel can answer a lot of things, but like every once in a while your opponent thinks they're going to be cheeky and they're going to try to put up a stun monster. So we can tribute that off and not worry about our day. We have triple copies of Heritage, once again, more draw power into the deck. No real explanation needed. Now we are playing 3 copies of Limit Reverse. Special summoning Yubel is pretty much, it's not a priority, but like also like if you dead draw this, you have more Dragonic Diagram food. Like at least the core strategy feeds into it. So 1 copy of Skill Drain. We're True Draco, hear me roar. Now we are playing triple, there can only be 1. This is kind of up to interpretation. I like locking out other decks, but I also like the fact that I can have a Wyvern and a Fiend, and I mean, if your opponent's staring at it, there can only be 1 with a Yubel and, you know, a True Draco monster. there's going to be something fun going on. And of course, we have triple copies of Apocalypse, generic support, and 1 copy of True King's Return. Now, I didn't build an extra deck for this. That's up to you. I mean, you can have some Monarchs Erupts in the side or something like that and just not use the extra deck. It's kind of up to you. But this is the core concept of what we were kind of going with here. And I think that this deck is a lot of fun. Like, if you want somewhere to go for an interesting time, this can be it. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. This is a nice little tribute homage to Yubel. And well, guys, I am out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.